Throughout our lives, we meet countless people. Each one leaves a unique mark on our story, and many influence the person we become, whether they inspire us or hurt us. Some individuals enrich our lives, showing us the true meaning of love, loyalty, and trust. These people teach us the invaluable lessons of connection, mutual growth, and the joy of shared experiences. In these relationships, love flows freely, and we often feel that we are growing alongside one another. But then there are those who do the opposite. They show us betrayal, disappointment, and emotional exhaustion. We find ourselves in relationships that drain us, and yet we continue to cling to them, despite knowing they do not serve us. What happens when we stay in these relationships? Why do we so often hold on to people who do not value us, and why is it so difficult to let go? It is easy to think the problem lies with the other person. After all, we've all been there, trying to make a relationship work despite knowing it's unhealthy. But Carl Jung, the famous Swiss psychologist, proposed a radically different approach. He argued that the issue isn't the other person at all. It's what the relationship reveals about us and the unconscious patterns we carry within ourselves. In this video, we'll explore Carl Jung's theories on relationships, self-worth, and personal growth. We'll look into how our unconscious minds shape the relationships we attract, and why letting go of toxic connections is not just about freeing the other person, but about freeing ourselves. The unconscious mind and its role in relationships. Jung believed that the unconscious mind plays a significant role in shaping our lives. We often think of our actions as being guided by conscious thought, but much of our behavior and decision-making is driven by patterns we aren't fully aware of. These patterns often manifest through the relationships we form, whether they are healthy or toxic. But how does this work? Jung explained that the unconscious mind operates through symbols and repetitive patterns. These are not always obvious to us, but they deeply influence the experiences we attract into our lives. If you find yourself continually drawn to relationships where you give far more than you receive, or if you keep repeating the same cycles of disappointment and emotional exhaustion, this is not a coincidence. Our unconscious mind projects unresolved conflicts onto our external world. In other words, we tend to attract people and situations that mirror our internal struggles. These struggles may stem from past experiences, perhaps childhood wounds, unhealed traumas, or unresolved feelings of inadequacy. If, for example, you grew up feeling unworthy of love or validation, you may find yourself in relationships where you constantly feel like you have to fight for affection, approval, or attention. Why we stay in toxic relationships. Now that we understand how our unconscious mind influences the people we attract, let's dive deeper into why we stay in relationships that clearly do not serve us. It's easy to say, I should just leave, but when you're in a toxic relationship, the act of letting go can feel incredibly difficult. So what makes us stay? Jung's theory of the shadow provides a powerful explanation for this. The shadow refers to the hidden aspects of our personality, parts of ourselves that we suppress or refuse to acknowledge. These are the aspects of ourselves that we deem unacceptable or undesirable. However, as Jung pointed out, the shadow is not inherently negative. It consists of traits and qualities that, when integrated and accepted, can help us grow. But when we deny the shadow, it exerts control over us. We might not consciously realize it, but we are often drawn to relationships that reflect the unresolved parts of ourselves, the aspects of our shadow that we refuse to face. If deep down, we feel that we are unworthy of love, or that love must be earned through suffering or sacrifice, we may attract relationships that reinforce this belief. Jung explained that our most complicated and painful relationships often reflect our shadow. For instance, if you've ever stayed in a relationship despite knowing it was unhealthy, it may be because the relationship reflects an unconscious belief that you are unworthy of better. You might convince yourself that if you try harder, the other person will change. You justify their behavior, or you believe that your worth will eventually be recognized, even if it isn't right now. But the truth is, this dynamic is a reflection of unresolved inner conflicts, beliefs and emotions that have not yet been healed. The importance of letting go. So, why is letting go so important? It's not just about ending a relationship. Letting go is a profound and transformative act of self-love. It's a deep process of self-discovery that allows you to break free from the unconscious patterns that have been guiding your decisions and relationships. When we hold on to relationships that drain us, we are not just holding on to a person, we are holding on to a narrative, a story about who we are and what we deserve. Jung argued that until we confront the unconscious beliefs that shape our lives, we will continue to attract relationships that mirror our unresolved wounds. Letting go, then, is an act of reclaiming your power. It's about saying to yourself, I deserve more. I am worthy of love and respect. When you choose to release what no longer serves you, you begin to take control of your own story. You free yourself from the need to fit into a narrative that makes you feel small or unworthy. This is the moment when you stop chasing after affection that isn't reciprocated, and instead start moving toward a life where you are valued for who you truly are. The shadow and self-awareness. At its core, letting go is an act of facing your shadow and integrating it into your conscious awareness. Jung believed that we cannot truly evolve until we confront the parts of ourselves that we have hidden or denied. By acknowledging the shadow, we allow ourselves to move toward wholeness. When we stay in relationships that do not honor our worth, we are often running from the shadow. We are avoiding the painful truths about ourselves, our fear of rejection, our feelings of inadequacy, and our belief that we are not good enough as we are. Letting go is the first step in acknowledging these fears and beginning to heal them. Synchronicity and healing. Jung's theory of synchronicity teaches us that there is no such thing as coincidence. Every encounter, every relationship, and every painful breakup has a deeper meaning. When we let go of relationships that are not meant for us, we make space for new opportunities to enter our lives. These opportunities are not random. They are a reflection of the energy we put out into the world. The moment you release someone who does not value you, your energy begins to shift. As your energy changes, so too do the people and situations that come into your life. You begin to attract people who are aligned with your true self, people who respect and appreciate you for who you are. The power of letting go. Letting go is not merely about ending a relationship, but it is about creating the necessary space for the new to enter your life. Imagine it like clearing out an old closet full of worn-out clothes. You create space for fresh, meaningful, and well-suited additions that reflect your current self. By releasing relationships that no longer serve you, you are giving yourself permission to embrace who you are becoming. You are saying to the universe, I am worthy of love and respect that is genuine and mutual. This process is not easy. It's an emotional roller coaster. You may feel the pangs of loneliness, fear of being misunderstood, or even a sense of loss. These emotions are natural, but they are also temporary. As you move forward, you begin to realize that what you thought was loss was actually liberation. You are no longer bound by relationships that stifle your growth. You are free to walk a path that is yours alone, one that leads to authentic connection, self-respect, and peace. Self-acceptance and the shadow. To understand the need for letting go, we must also understand Carl Jung's concept of the shadow. The shadow is the part of ourselves that we hide from the world and often from ourselves, traits, feelings, and thoughts that we deem undesirable or unacceptable. These parts of us may be pushed into the unconscious because society tells us to hide them, or because we were taught to suppress them in order to be loved or accepted. But as Jung taught, the shadow is not inherently evil. It is simply the part of us that is not fully integrated into our conscious lives. And because it is hidden, it exerts its influence in ways that we may not immediately recognize. It shows up in our relationships, sometimes in the form of attraction to people who are emotionally unavailable or unable to meet our needs. These people may mirror the parts of us that are unresolved, whether that's a fear of abandonment, feelings of inadequacy, or a deep need for validation. True self-love comes from embracing the totality of who we are, the light and the shadow. When we deny or repress parts of ourselves, we allow them to control us from the unconscious. But when we choose to confront and integrate these parts, we stop unconsciously seeking validation in places where we are not valued. The fear of letting go. One of the biggest obstacles people face when letting go of a toxic relationship is the fear of being alone. This fear is rooted in the idea that we need others to complete us, that our worth is somehow tied to someone else's approval. But Jung taught us that true connection begins with ourselves. When we are disconnected from ourselves, no relationship, no matter how many people surround us, can fill the void. The fear of being alone is a reflection of a deeper fear, the fear of facing the parts of ourselves we have long avoided. It's much easier to remain in a relationship, even a toxic one, than to confront the discomfort of solitude. But solitude is not your enemy. In fact, it is your greatest ally on the path to self-discovery and healing. Solitude gives you the space to reconnect with your true self, to rediscover your passions, and to heal wounds that have been buried for too long. Letting go is not about losing something, it is about gaining freedom, The freedom to be yourself without compromise, without fear, and without the need for validation from others. Reclaiming your energy. When you choose to let go, something profound happens. You reclaim your energy, which you had previously given away to someone or something that did not honor you. This energy is the life force within you that has been drained by endless emotional relationship labor, trying to make it work when it was never meant to. Once you release that energy, you begin to feel lighter, more focused, and more aligned with your true self. Imagine this: you no longer have to keep checking your phone to see if they've texted. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself or justify your actions to anyone. Instead, you start to redirect that energy toward your own growth. You begin to invest in yourself, whether that's through self-care, pursuing your passions, or strengthening your relationships with people who truly care about you. Reclaiming your energy is an act of self-love. It is the moment you stop chasing after someone who doesn't appreciate you and start appreciating yourself. The power of choice and transformation. When you let go of a relationship that doesn't serve you, you make a powerful statement to the universe: I choose myself. This is not a rejection of the other person, but a recognition of your own worth. You're telling yourself that you will no longer accept love that comes with strings attached, or relationships that leave you emotionally drained. In the process of letting go, you undergo a transformation. You stop seeking approval from others and begin to give yourself the approval you've always needed. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, and it isn't always easy. But as you continue to choose yourself, you start to see the world in a new light. The people who once took you for granted will begin to notice your absence. And while they may regret it, by then, it won't matter to you anymore. You will have moved on, empowered, renewed, and ready for the new experiences that are waiting for you. The meaning of true love. As we discussed earlier, true love is not about struggle, sacrifice, or proving your worth. Real love is effortless. It is based on mutual respect, understanding, and a deep connection between two people who choose each other freely. When you begin to love yourself, you stop looking for love in places that leave you feeling unworthy. Real love doesn't require you to shrink yourself or sacrifice your authenticity. Instead, it allows you to show up as you are, knowing that you are enough. The right person will recognize your worth without you needing to convince them. And when you love yourself enough, you will naturally attract relationships that honor you, just as you honor yourself. Conclusion: letting go as an act of faith. Letting go is not an act of defeat, it is an act of faith. It is trusting that the universe has something better in store for you, something that aligns with your true worth. It's the belief that when you let go of what no longer serves you, you're making space for something more fulfilling, more authentic, and more in alignment with who you are becoming. Jung's teachings remind us that transformation always begins from within. The moment you choose yourself, everything in your life begins to shift. You will no longer settle for relationships that drain you, and you will start attracting people who see you for who you truly are. The more you release what is not meant for you, the more you open yourself up to the beauty, love, and abundance that the universe has in store for you. If this message resonated with you and you're ready to take the next step in your journey of self-love and transformation, then subscribe to Psyche Quest TDT for more videos on personal growth, self-awareness, and the power of letting go. Don't forget to like and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Together, let's build a community of individuals who choose themselves and create lives full of love, respect, and authenticity.